And that's what you get trying to hack Western government's IT infrastructure. Right, well that was a pretty straightforward engagement. I don't think I was fired upon by anything, which is fantastic. Good morning, welcome back to Cold Waters. I'm Captain Numpty, or David Steele, and here's me boat. It's going to get very noisy today. So...
Passing 100 feet.
Yep. Alright. Well, we are in the USS Seawolf. SSN-21...
Sonar lost contact. Sierra 4. Last bearing 051. Contact faded.
SSN-21, and we are just north of Taiwan. And our mission is to stop an invasion fleet. And here's the deal, I've got a lot of targets.
Come right to 135. Helm I.
An awful lot of targets out there, and not all of them are hostile. 3 of them appear to be, so far, friendly. So, I've not long started this particular sortie, and we're just letting everything filter through. So we're at some point in the...
Sonar lost contact. Sierra 9. Last bearing 075. Contact faded.
We're at some point through the South China Sea campaign. Difficult for me to know exactly how far along we are, really. But this could be interesting. In fact, let's get these torpedoes prepped for surface running. I do have some harpoons on board. Yeah, I've got 6 of those. I generally don't reload harpoons. I'll go with more AdCaps. But yeah, I've got some harpoons, so they could be useful against these landing ships, although I suspect...
helm. Steady course.
They have anti-missile guns. Let's see. Okay, that doesn't. That one does. Not entirely sure whether that one does either. Yeah, and they're actually heading towards me. What I really need to do is clear where these neutral targets are. So I put myself side on in the hope that my towed array would help. I don't think it's deployed. No, it's not. Alright, let's go back up to periscope depth.
4-5 feet, dive by.
There's a little, I guess, cheat you can do. You can push F4 on the keyboard, and that will determine if there's any airborne targets. Let's try it. No, okay. That's very good. There are no airborne contacts. That makes my life a lot easier. So if you've played Cold Waters before, enemy submarines and surface ships are difficult enough to deal with.
Sonar regained contact on Sierra 4, bearing 050.
But then...
Sonar regained contact on Sierra 9, bearing 073. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 10, bearing 040.
Okay, but then throw in aircraft, and especially in shallow water, such as what we're in right now, can become very challenging indeed. I really want to sort through these targets.
Dive at 4-5 feet, dive by.
I'm tempted to just go ahead and pop the radar up. It'll give me a much clearer picture. And they're approaching me, and I don't know how fast they're going, but 17,000 yards is not that far. Let's see, do I have a... Okay, so yeah, the depth was an issue. Now I've got my towed array able to register these targets. That's good. Getting a good audio track from Sierra 2, Sierra 1. Likewise. But Sierra 5, Sierra 7 are producing either a lot more noise or they're a lot closer. It's warships. Okay, that's a warship. Frigate. tiny little ship. It's a slightly bigger ship, and the Jianghu 3, similar size. Oh, it's actually smaller. Okay. So it looks like we've got 4 warships and 3 landing ships, or LSTs, and then these merchants, which I can't detect any of their proper locations. Oh, they're doing 20 knots. Oh, okay. He's doing 20 knots. They're doing 15 knots. Now, the Seawolf is a very capable submarine. I'll talk about this in just a little bit. They're getting close to being able to get a read on me. I'm going to point my nose towards them.
Come left to 051, helm I.
And the reason why I point the nose is right now their sonar's bouncing off this profile. I want it to bounce off this profile. It's much smaller. But I think I want to get my depth down a little bit as well.
Make depth 100 feet, dive I.
So I really don't want this guy getting a read on me. Wait, was I misreading that? I think I was. Yeah, I totally was. No danger of them getting a read on me right now. Never mind. Never mind. It's been a long day. Never mind. Let's go ahead and I'll keep the depth thing going to 100 feet, but let's straighten up. It's nice having the towed array out on him.
Sonar lost contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 072. Contact faded. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 10, last bearing 0.
Con, dive at 100 feet, dive I.
And sound also behaves differently when you're in shallower water. It gets bounced around in different ways. Sometimes you just can't hear as far as you think you should be able to, and sometimes you can. Are these targets really 12,000 yards? I kind of feel like harpooning them. It would be tempting just to harpoon at least some of them, but I've only got 6, and 2 of them have anti-missile guns, so there's a good chance that not all the missiles will make it through, because they've got some mutual support stuff going on here. So the other alternative is because I can't get a clear enough audio track, is to just get in that much closer, and then I've got counterfire from the escorts. Looks like these merchants are further away. 20,000 yards. 15,000 yards is not that much further away. If I lose the wire because I have to maneuver, it's going to be a pain. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pause the battle, because otherwise you could be here for a long time. And I'll be back when something more interesting is going on. Okay, that makes things a little clearer. I'm going to drop my depth. Don't think I need my towed array anymore. Let's see, 266. I guess we'll go down to 200 feet.
Make depth 200 feet, dive I.
I'm preparing to attack. Got a good idea of the formation now. And I should be good to drop torpedoes or launch fire torpedoes at the enemy, because are they likely to miss? Well, they might do. I think a bigger issue is multiple
sonar lost contact. Sierra 9, last bearing 065. Contact faded.
Bigger issue is multiple torpedoes tracking and attacking the same target, but that's not the end of the world. So if I'm going to sort through Sierra 5, 6, and 7, then 2 torpedoes, one the west side, one the east side, will take out a couple of them, we hope, or at least damage them. And then a 3rd torpedo as follow-up. Now, they are doing 15 knots? 10 knots now, okay. 14 knots. 15, yeah. We can catch them. Going to make quite a bit of noise doing so, but our torpedo is most definitely quicker. So, counterfire. Well, What's a Type 81? Hedgehog. Yep, okay, well that's not great. Excuse me, but I'll show you what a hedgehog is. It is right in front of the front gun turret. Those
Dive at 200 feet. Dive by.
Those two 5-packs, they basically launch depth charges. And 3,000 yards. Okay, well, that's not so bad. 3,000 yards is pretty close. Chengdu has FQF 2500. I wonder what that is. Hedgehog. Okay. So that's about 2,500 yards. So again, it's quite close range. Turning away from me. Okay. Luda. Yep. 2,500 yards. And okay, so they're all pretty close range. I'm quite far away right now. They're no threat. I'm going to go ahead and launch. So, first torpedo I'm going to guide up to, let's say about, yeah.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. Second torpedo will be guided to about, I'd like to keep the wire here, about here.
Shoot 2-2. Aye, sir.
And I don't want to change my course of direction, so I'm going to dogleg this one round. Yeah, this torpedo is going to give away where the heck I am. That's unfortunate. But it will at least take one of these guys out. I'm wondering whether I want to load a harpoon, but never mind. Okay, so what's going to happen now is the torpedo in tube 1 is going to hopefully strike Sierra 6. The 1 and 2 is going to delay, and that might take out an escort, or it might take out another one of these landing ships. And that just depends on how aggressive the enemy get. And that might itself depend on how far we are along in this war. Because I've been playing this for quite a time. I haven't been 100% successful, but I've been successful enough.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Then again, the last mission wasn't a success, and the sole reason why I arrived late to this party when they're pretty much close to Taiwan, this is Taiwan here, is because I had to get a few things fixed on the boat. Let's just say it wasn't exactly fluffy dice and the coffee machine. Yeah, a lot didn't work. The reason why? No. Air launch depth charges. Yeah, I know, right? A nuclear boat hit by depth charges. Way to go, David. He had one job, and that was to stay deep. Well, to be fair, it's tough to stay deep when you're around Taiwan. Alright, I'm going to accelerate time just a little bit. Let's just check who's got the best sonar on me. -3, -16. Yeah, they're not going to know where I am, but if I don't face them, they might. They might think that something's up. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. For now, I'm going to head west, I think. Or northwest. I'm going to make myself very visible to their active sonar, but he's turned away, so maybe...
Come left 279, helm aye.
Just maybe I'll get away with this, but yeah, I think they are suspicious that something is going on. Okay, well... So I mentioned earlier on that the Seawolf is an interesting boat. Well, yes it is, because having spent a lot of time in the skipjack, the Seawolf feels kind of overpowered. And here's the thing. It can carry an enormous number of torpedoes. Oh, what are we at now? 30, plus 6 in the tubes. 30 torpedoes, and then another 9 other stores, so harpoons and moss. So you got a huge number of stores, and providing you don't take damage by anything, you can be out on patrol for a long time. You can dive to 1,600 feet. you can hit 35 knots. You're fairly agile, you're fairly maneuverable, and you're very quiet. So what's not to like? Yeah. I think that these cargo ships know that something's up. Is this torpedo running on the surface? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Looks like it's in attack mode. Maybe.
Sonar, Sierra 8 is classified as merchant.
Okay. Sierra 8. Well, I guess I must have got the slightly wrong designation. I'm going to make torpedo 2 active.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Oh, it picked something up. Oh, it picked the escort up. Yeah, okay, so it was a good call keeping this thing reserved for just in case an escort's gotten a little close, because it certainly has. This means, however, I need to get some more torpedoes, some more fish in the water. Let's see. Yeah. Look at the angle there. I guess they must. The game must be up. They must have detected my torpedo. Okay, I want to fire another one here. I don't know where the cargo ships will be going to.
Noisemaker bearing 084. Con, helm, steady course.
Okay, so I'm going to dogleg it immediately.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired. Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
So I could help this torpedo. So I'm going to basically guide it towards the target and point it towards the surface, so it's not going to run deep. Not that it matters that so much.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 085.
So we'll use active sonar. It's going to give the game away to everything else. Not that they haven't radioed everyone. Active sonar may help it cut through the
Con,
decoy.
fire control, weapon acquired.
There we go. Makes a whole bunch of noise. So if the unlikely event that there's a submarine out there and it gets spooked by this, it might switch to flank speed, and that could be very useful in helping me detect it. Now, looter is about to be an unlooter.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing
Go.
088.
There is the unloader. Big boom. I didn't watch that. Maybe I should have. Okay, so this torpedo here is running further east. Has this one not detected anything yet? That's interesting. Wonder if the cargo ships are noped out of
Helm
there.
right 2358. Helm I.
And they're not picked up by this torpedo because it appears to be tracking straight. I think the Yukon must be in its path, but if not, it's gonna detect the escort, surely. I'm not really sure what's going
Con
on.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 6.
All right.
Last bearing 049. Contact breaking up.
That answers that then. Okay, one down, and then let's see what the escorts do. Let's see how aggressive the escorts get.
Con torpedo. Come right to 031. Helm I.
They are noping out of here. Yeah, figured. Okay. Now this might seem like a boring sortie so far, where the enemy hasn't detected or fired upon me, but that's a good thing. I really don't want to entangle with an escort in shallow water if I can possibly help it. I wish one of these has got no guns. This one, isn't it? Yeah. This is really, oh yeah, I guess it is. Okay. It's got no defenses, so it's, the Chinese put this in service. There's nothing to protect you from harpooning it at range. But ideally, I'll go with it for the Yutling. But this escort, the Jianghu 3, is noping out of there. The Chengdu 04 is intercept course, it would appear. For the sunk, you can. That's great. But yeah, it would appear that they're not that interested in tackling me so far. I'm going to load a harpoon. Right, I think you know the drill. I'll be right back.
Con, helm, steady course.
Well, that's a little unfortunate. So I lost the wire. I think I know why I lost the wire. Changed my depth too quickly, and now I've got no control over what this torpedo is going to track. So I'm going to go ahead and be super aggressive. I'm going to pop my surface sensors up.
Up scope.
Con sonar, master 9 is classified as merchant.
Alright, so they're going to know exactly where I am. I'm okay with that. I really want to tackle these guys. I'm going to try a head-on shot.
Torpedo room, tube 5 ready.
To this escort here. Or do I want to tackle it? He is threatening me. But he's got nothing he can launch at range, so he's pretty much useless. This guy, yeah, I don't want to bother. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so here's my dilemma. If I sink M7, then never mind. I can see what I need to do now. So the torpedo is now tracking the escort, so the harpoon can go for the M7. I can't begin to pronounce that.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Going to launch another harpoon, and we're going to watch this. Not that much to see right now. Yeah, we're going to watch this thing commence its attack run. Its altitude will drop as it gets closer to the target. We may even see it too. Okay. So I can't see where it is on its travel, but I do know that the escorts absolutely can detect me. So the top left, we've got the ESM meter. The detection threshold at the top right essentially shows the strength of radar bouncing back to the enemy, or what your crew estimates it will be, and whether they can detect you. So yes, they can detect me. Right. Hello, landing ship. Have one of these.
Con sonar, lost contact. Master 7, last bearing 068. Contact breaking up.
Kind of anticlimactic, but guess what? We've got another one ready for this guy. Woohoo! Hey, I got the escort too.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Right, well that's got that on the way, and I
Come left 2, 311. Helm aye.
don't need to tackle the escorts, although they may have another idea now. Yeah, I'm going to get a torpedo out. Let's get a cheeky torpedo out here. As long as I don't lose my wire again.
Shoot 2-5. Aye, sir.
Not a euphemism. Then I can tackle the escorts too.
Shoot
Let's do
2-2.
that.
Aye, sir.
I'm going to head west.
Come left 2, 270. Helm aye.
And let's see how this pans out. So that's one. That was one torpedo. Here's the harpoon on the attack. Let's switch to the Yutling. Now, usually Russian designs have a blind spot for air defenses from the direct stern. That doesn't mean that we have one here. See, it's firing at it. We can't see it though.
Con sonar, lost contact. Master 5, last bearing 060.
Beautiful.
Contact breaking up.
Beautiful. Okay, so
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
let's get that noise off. Okay, what that tells me is that yes, that the Chinese warships have the same vulnerability to the direct stern or the 6 o'clock. You fire something at their butt, and they're not able to adequately defend. Now, I don't necessarily need them to know exactly where I am anymore, so I'm going to go ahead.
Downscope. Lower the radar mast.
and drop my surface sensors, and I'm going to reverse course, more or less. I'm going to head east. Or am I? No, I'm not actually. I think I want to keep the direction I'm going, because if I get too close, I've got to be within inside about half a square though. But if I get too close, they're going to drop depth charges on me. And that would be very unfortunate, and not the first time that it's happened in recent missions. Yeah, I don't want to have to explain to the Admiral why his nice Seawolf that cost many, many billions, I'm sure, has a few dents that were avoidable. Especially as
Con, helm, steady course.
I still have weapons that I can fire. Right, let's just adjust these torpedoes. I don't. They know exactly where I am, or at least they know where I was. I don't have a problem with them tracking towards me. That will help me. So let's accelerate time and watch these torpedoes go boom boom at their targets. Okay, let's just reshuffle number 5 to point towards the enemy. Same with torpedo number 2. 5. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the warship. Kind of a neat design, really. I mean, it's going to be a submarine soon, but it's a neat design. So the crew just stood around. I mean, you might want to abandon ship, because yeah. Right, I'm going to let torpedo 5 go active, or rather, not so much active. I'm going to let it activate the sensor. So the map at the bottom left, that shows that its sensor cone is pretty much pointing directly towards Master 3. And any second now, it's going to detect it. Switch to this view here. Master 3.
Fire control, weapon acquired.
There we go. It's doing 25 knots, and he's dropping his speed. That's interesting. Wonder why he's doing that. Or maybe he's trying to listen for something. Yeah, you might not want to be doing that. You want to drop a noisemaker, and no powder there. What's his top speed? 28 knots. He's not exactly quick. I can go faster than that. And for a modern warship, 28 knots is, I'm not going to say it's shameful. It isn't shameful. It's just compromised. That's a nice way of saying it. It sucks. It's a shame the lighting wasn't better. We're getting a good view of it blowing up. Okay, now he appears to have... yeah, he's cavitating. So he appears to have detected an incoming torpedo. Which, let's face it, we can see it on this view here. And he's going to drop a noisemaker, so I'm going to make my sonar active. Let's quick check on number torpedo 2. Let's make that one active as well.
Control, weapon acquired.
Go. Alright, so it's got his speed up to 18 knots, but it's not accelerating very quickly.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0,
Yeah,
7, 4.
there goes his noisemaker. Gonna let the torpedo figure out it's going straight for the noisemaker.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
So he then turns hard at port, and the torpedo is right on his tail. You messed that one up, Sunshine.
Fire control, weapon countermeasure. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 3.
Another noisemaker. I'll let the torpedo figure out what it's going to do. I'm not going to guide it with a keypad.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Alright, that's interesting. Let me see, it's turning round. He's changing direction again. Let's zoom in on the map a little bit. Gives me a bit more of an insight as to what's going on. So he's evading. He's getting up to speed.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 3, 3.
Torpedo is tracking round, as avoiding the noisemaker. Okay, I'm going to help it here. I'm going to basically steer it around the
Fire
noisemaker.
control, weapon
There we go.
acquired. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 7, 2.
Let's run it west a little bit, and then we'll will attack from the south. Yes, he's actually turning towards me. Or towards the torpedo,
sonar
I should
lost
say.
Contact. Master 2. Last bearing 0,
Right.
3, 4.
It's like we got the
Contact
other
breaking up.
escort, and now this torpedo is coming right in the face. And he's in big trouble, because now if he drops a noisemaker, my torpedo might not detect it. Now is the time.
Con sonar lost contact. Master 3. Last bearing 0, 7, 2. Contact breaking up.
See, if he dropped a noisemaker there at just the right moment, it might have thrown off my torpedo, and again he could have, like, loped it out of there, but instead, he just turned right in the path. And that's what you get trying to hack Western government's IT infrastructure. Right, well that was a pretty straightforward engagement. I don't think I was fired upon by anything, which is fantastic and welcome, so little unusual. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. A little bit less actiony than I hoped, but sometimes the South China Sea scenarios are a little bit like that, because, you know, if you're against poorer quality ships and submarines, they just don't even know that you're there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.